everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Talk of the Town. Steve Putnam here with you this week, and I'm really glad to have somebody on my show that I don't think's been on my show before.
Not on this show.
Not on this show. So he's going to have to come back sometime because I'm sure you didn't read the fine print that says once you're here, you got to come back. But so that you'll know who I'm talking to, this is Mr. Jackson Martin, and he is the owner of Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Course. But as you described yourself, that's not all. You're a serial entrepreneur, as your friends call you. You got a lot of things going, a lot of irons in the fire. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
We do. I'm born and raised in Lattimore, North Carolina. Taught at Shelby High School for 11 years and started a few businesses, and now we have 8 LLCs that we're running out of Lattimore, North Carolina, including Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Course. What keeps me busy most of the day is one of our businesses called Coin Hole. It's a tabletop coin bouncing party game that I invented back in 2008. In 2016, a video we shot in my kitchen went viral, and it got 40 million views, and that kind of set us on a trajectory with that particular product, and we've sold it all around the world for the last 8 years.
Well, I know, and they're everywhere now. Everywhere I go, it's like, I know who did that.
It's fun because we actually write "Made in Lattimore, North Carolina" on the box, and so there's products all across the country that bring up Lattimore and Cleveland County. So we're excited about that.
That's pretty awesome. That's cool. And that just kind of set everything going, didn't it?
It really did. I had the mindset of I'm going to teach for 30 years, retire. I had taken almost no sick days, in those 10 years, and then all of a sudden my mind just switched, and I became an entrepreneur, and just everything was a business decision from that point on.
Wow. And off you go.
Off we went.
And one of the things that you went right into was this world of disc golf. Now, I know that people are out there going, what?
Right.
But I was playing disc golf back in the day when you didn't have special discs.
Yes.
You just kind of went out in the backyard and said, I think I can hit that tree in 4.
That's exactly right. That is the history of disc golf. Maybe as early as the 20s, kids and students were throwing tin lids or early flying disc at trees and trash cans, whatever they could possibly throw it at, keeping score and having fun. It was in the 60s and 70s in California where it kind of started to develop into a sport, and the first course was in Oak Grove Park, Pasadena, California in 1975. And that's when it really officially started with the first official disc golf course.
The first official disc golf course. Now, I know that it's grown into like a sport now. I mean, and at the same time, discs, I guess coming along, I was less interested in disc golf than I was ultimate. Loved playing ultimate.
Right.
Now, it's a disc game, but it's completely different. But it's for young people.
Yeah.
You're constantly running when you play that. But and so I'm like, okay, this is cool. But disc golf is something that anybody can do.
That's exactly right. It's very easy to casually play. So almost any age, young and old, can come out. We have the beginner tees that are like really close to the basket. You can play like bogey or double bogey golf, which if most people understand, golf, it's just getting 1 or 2 above the par. Makes it pretty fun and easy, but it's also a sport that's really hard to master. Some pretty good examples of that is our course in Lattimore has 2 courses, one called Wolfman Run and one called Nobby's Revenge, which is a little tip to our local Nobby there. Yep. And the Yetis too. So
there you go.
That first course has the easy tees that families can come out and play. We've cleared all the undergrowth. You can't lose a disc. It's fun. But Nobby's Revenge, we just had a pro tournament out there Saturday, and the best score was a +7.
Well, I know we got a video that we're seeing here. Let's see what we got here. Is this part of what you're talking about?
No, this is actually something really fun. We had 40 students come out from, I think that might have been Grover Elementary School, and it was just a 4th grade field trip, and they just all came out. They've been practicing disc golf for the last few months in one of their PE classes, and then they just came to play the course.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Looks like they're having a pretty good time there too.
They all had a great time.
Wow. So now the course itself, I know folks may say it's a lot of it is like through the forest, isn't it?
Yes. That's and that's what we call North Carolina disc golf.
There you go.
It's a lot of woods course.
There you go.
Even that shot there is called a mandatory. You have to throw the disc between those first two trees, or you have to go to a drop zone and lose a stroke.
Well, now I know that we've actually got a video that you want to show everyone that takes us through some things, and I think this might be a pretty good time to do that. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, sounds good to me too. That's pretty awesome. Now, I know that for folks that don't really understand how the game works, you see those folks playing. Some of them are using pretty small discs, some a little bit larger, and the targets they shoot at. Tell us a little bit about how all that works.
Absolutely. So that particular video is of our mini course called Baby Sass, and basically that's a baby Sasquatch, which again, going back to the Knobby course there. And so that's a 9-hole course that we actually provide the putters, and they're actually called mini markers. And you can just go out there and play. It's a quick thing that most families can play in like 10 or 15 minutes, and you just kind of circle around right there at the clubhouse. Then the bigger size disc, you can play on that same course, but of course they work better on the bigger baskets on the rest of the courses.
Now, the baskets themselves are the targets.
That's correct.
And for it to officially count, it has to get all the way in the basket, right?
That is mostly correct. They have a lot of rules.
I thought so.
And in fact, I think it must have been well, I don't know exactly when, but the founder of disc golf was Steady Ed Hedrick, and he helped form the Professional Disc Golf Association. And these rules help standardize disc golf all across the world. And even one of those rules they just flip-flopped on was if you throw it and it sticks in the side of the basket, it actually counts as in the basket. And forever that didn't count. If you land it on top of the basket, it does not count. But as long as it hits the chains and falls in the basket or is supported by the basket, basically it counts as in.
So no, so glad I asked.
Yeah,
Jay.
it's particular.
Oh wow, that is particular. Now, and the baskets themselves, I'm sure are all standardized and
Yes,
so you
yeah.
have to-
It was important for us to bring in the professional baskets so that we could host professional tournaments. Obviously, you can buy more affordable baskets, but they don't meet the standards and the requirements for a professional tournament.
That's cool. And so I'm sure you guys, but as well as folks coming out for fun, have you had tournaments and?
Oh yeah, yeah. In fact, we have so many cool statistics. When people come to play, they track their rounds. Not only do we have them log in when they arrive to the clubhouse, but most people are playing on an app called UDisc, and so it tracks it. And so, like, just some quick numbers are: we know that we've helped people do over 40 million steps at our course, so that's a good for exercise. We know that there have been almost 10,000 rounds played since we opened up. And so we get to keep up with those stats through that UDisc app. The tournaments, and it also tracks where people are from. So we've had hundreds of people that have driven 3, 4, 5 hours to come play the course. And that's a lot of fun to meet somebody, at 1 p.m. on a Thursday that says, yeah, I drove from Raleigh to come play your course today, And we had somebody just the other day that drove through, and they're playing one course in each state, and they chose our course for North Carolina as they were passing around. So
that's pretty
it made us
cool.
feel really good.
That is pretty cool. One course per state.
Yeah, yeah. Some people are really into disc golf.
It sounds like it. Now, this is now. How long have you guys been open?
So we the way it started was we had opened a bed and breakfast in Lattimore called the Hunt House. And I was kind of looking for an added amenity for the bed and breakfast. And so I had this 20-acre parcel that we made a walking trail on. And I went and played disc golf one day with a friend, and realized, man, I could just put baskets out here around this walking trail and have like a little mini course. And so we built that in 2021, and I brought out some professionals, and they were like, this is a really nice 9-hole course. If you'll add 9 more holes, people will actually want to drive here and play it. And I thought about the impact that could have for the town of Lattimore, Cleveland County, and certainly for the bed and breakfast. And so we built the next 9, and we made them more challenging. They said that I had designed it using my level of skill, which was I had only played disc golf 1 or 2 times designing this course. So I made the middle 9 much more difficult, and that worked out really well. And then we were kind of told that if we would build 2 courses, people would drive and maybe even spend the night in Cleveland County and so we were like, all right, let's go for it. And that's kind of how that progressed.
So it just kept growing and growing.
Yes.
Now, whose idea was it to put one of the shots over a lake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's what.
In disc golf, you get graded on, and every disc golfer basically leaves a review and grades your course when they leave. And things you're looking for to have a good course are narrow fairways, wide fairways. You're looking for water shots. You're looking for elevation, uphill, downhill. These are the kind of things that you're looking for. And so you kind of have to have all those mixed in, or else you'll get a bad rating, and then people won't come to play your course. So it was important for us to have a pond shot, and now both courses have at least 1, 2, or 3 shots that go over a pond. And most discs do not float.
Nope, they don't. So if you ever drain it, you can get mine back out.
Well, actually, we rake it about once a week, and if you write your name and number on the disc, we'll call you. Yep, you can come pick it back up.
Then. All right, well, on that point, we probably need to take a break here, but we're going to come back, and as soon as we get back, he's going to tell us all about how he's going to find my disc in that lake.
Chef Paul Prudhomme once said, "You don't need a silver fork to eat good food." Well, on Cleveland County Kitchen, we don't have a silver fork, but we sure do serve up lots of good food. Hi, I'm Deborah Blanton. I hope you'll join me for the next Cleveland County Kitchen. Each month, we offer a complete farm-to-table experience. We visit local growers, we learn about nutrition, and wrap things up with wonderful meals prepared by our guest chefs. It's a lot of fun. I hope you'll join me for the next Cleveland County Kitchen.
Today I'd like to make everyone aware of the risk of skimmers. First, let me tell you what a skimmer is. A skimmer is a device that is often installed at a gas pump that is used to steal credit card information. When you use your card at the pump, a skimmer is disguised to look like a card reader and collect both card and PIN numbers that can be used to replicate and create counterfeit cards. Now let me tell you some of the best practices to protect yourself from skimmers at the pump. Always ensure that the tamper tape at the pump you're using is intact. Skimmers are installed inside the pump housing, and this tape ensures that the pump has not been opened. Always try to use the pump closest to the entrance to the store. Skimmers are often installed at the pump furthest from the store and the camera systems. Pay inside whenever possible. Cover pin pad when entering your pin number to protect against pinhole cameras.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. Steve Putnam's still here, and we've still got Jackson Martin with us, and I'm glad because we're just scratching the surface on disc golf so far. So for those of you who are just turning in, maybe you were at the refrigerator and come in and flip the channel on, this is Mr. Jackson Martin. He is the owner of Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Course, among other things. But we're talking about the disc golf course project today, and that's all in Lattimore.
Lattimore, North Carolina. You have 400 people and hosting one of the best disc golf courses in the country right there. It's
Right
pretty
there.
fun.
And that is actually true, and it just keeps getting better and better. We were just talking, you're actually still expanding and adding things on, aren't you?
Absolutely. We're out there every day making it a better course. We see the support. We're getting the community support. We've got almost 100 members now, which our goal is 300, and so that's growing fast. We have a lot of business sponsors that advertise on the T signs, so we're getting that kind of community support. And then, you know, people love seeing it as they drive by. You know, it looks like a Top Golf out there in the middle of Lattimore.
In the middle of Lattimore. Now, I know you mentioned something that I did want us to talk about, you know, in this part of the show, and that's the membership. Tell us a little bit about the membership, because you've got membership, you got a clubhouse that's really nice. The last time I saw the clubhouse, I don't think it looked as nice as it does now. So you have to tell us a little bit about that and what that's all about,
Absolutely.
and just tell us a little bit about how all
so,
that works.
When you play disc golf, most courses in the country are, you know, city parks, and so you just show up, park your car, take care of your disc out there and play. For us, we're providing a clubhouse which has beer, wine, snacks, other drinks, Gatorades, that sort of thing. We've got the deck with a picnic area, and when you check in, it's a $10 day pass. So you can check in and for $10 play all day. That includes if you don't have your own disc, we'll rent you the disc with that $10. So it's real easy, and kids 12 and under play for free with a paying adult. And so, you know, one parent can bring out 2 or 3 kids, $10. They all get rental disc, have a good time. The memberships, since the $10 day pass is in place, there's a lot of people who come and play every day. And so they are paying just $150 for a year-long membership. That gives them 365 days a year access to play disc golf all they want to. And so that's why the memberships are getting pretty popular, because most people are doing the math and realizing they're gonna play more than those than the $150 worth of time. So.
That's pretty cool, and that means that, now, you mentioned something, bringing discs and renting discs over. It does take special discs to play this, doesn't it?
It does, certainly, to have a good time doing it. And so, you know, we have a shop there with all the discs you could possibly want. We've got starter sets, so when most people come out to play, depending on how much natural talent they have, they're probably just going to play with a putter and a mid-range. They don't even need to fool with a driver. But once you've practiced a little bit, you know, a driver is a very thin disc that cuts through the air really fast, so you can throw it a lot further distance.
Right. Now, I know a lot of folks will be listening to this and going, this all sounds really fun, but I embarrass myself every time I try to throw a Frisbee anywhere. Is there an opportunity for folks who do not know the first thing about how to even throw a Frisbee to come out there and maybe have someone show them or instruct them on the basics of how you do it?
Absolutely. So when you show up to Wolfman Woods, you check in, and one of our attendants is there to help you with every question you could possibly have. You know, they give you the bag of discs. They can tell you about each of the discs and how to do it. We have a practice basket and a driving range that we can go down and help you practice on, kind of teach you some of the fundamentals. Obviously, we recommend just watching a quick YouTube video before you come out to play, because even just a little bit of knowledge will help you with a technique that'll make it more fun for you. But outside of that, we'll show you, we've got scorecards with maps, and you go to what we call the starter tees, which are orange, and they are all just like 100 to 200 feet. So even somebody that has no experience should be able to go out there and have a good time playing what we call the original 9 holes, or even the full 18 of Wolfman Run.
That's pretty cool. So they can ease into it, even if they don't know anything. You can just ease them right into how to play.
That's really who we're looking for, because this is a hidden gem. You know, this is 100 acres of beautiful woods that we're keeping maintained like a city park, and we want all of the families in Cleveland County to come out and play. So especially if you have no experience, come out, get hooked on disc golf. It's a fun sport.
It is, and it is like golf. It's scored like golf. But to create the course, you actually don't want to remove the tree. You don't have to raise the land and clear. You want them walking through the woods and around places and do it. You're walking. You're out in nature. You're seeing the beauty of it, and you're getting to participate in a game, in a sport that's really difficult to do, but it works with nature.
It works so good with nature, and it also works good with exercise and mental health. So I don't think there are many more peaceful places than being out there by yourself, walking through the woods, unless you hit a tree with a disc, then you can have a little frustration.
I had a lot of frustration. But you just got to take it in stride. I mean, that's you're learning, and it's like that's a part of it. Because even the ones who are out there, because I noticed this when I was out there playing, even the ones who are clearly more skilled than me still hit trees.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's, you know, like I said, we just had a pro tournament out there on Saturday, and the best score on one of our hardest layouts was a +7. So I'm sure even that person hit a bunch of trees.
A bunch of trees and water.
And lots of water.
Lots of water. That's pretty awesome. Now, I know you said you've actually just added on to the course to where you've got a second pond now.
That's right. That's right. So when you come up to the clubhouse, we wanted to have like an iconic hole that people, you know, when they come to play, will say, we got to play Wolfman Woods because of this hole. And so hole 18, you're throwing into the clubhouse. Everybody's on the deck watching you. There's a ton of pressure. You've got to throw over a pond. You've got to out of bounds. So it's just a fun, iconic hole, and we're glad that it's coming together.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I know I got to come back. I don't think you had that put together when I was there last. I don't remember the second pond, so that's pretty cool. Now, I know if folks are sitting there thinking, all right, you've won me over. I want to try this. How do they do it?
It's so easy. Go to wolfmanwoods.com, and all of the information that you'd ever want to know is on there. Our phone number, you can call and ask questions. You can basically read all the information on the site. When you show up, you bring your $10, you sign a waiver and a liability waiver, and you talk to the attendant, and they will walk you right through the course, and you'll have the time of your life. If you really want to get better, we can sign you up for lessons with our club pro, who is Nick Taylor, and also, you know, Cherish Fox is our operations director for Wolfman Woods, and she can help schedule rentals or if you want to host a party.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah,
about
so
parties. I bet you get a lot of that.
It's been pretty wild. Last year we had nobody that was interested in renting the area. You know, it was too new. And all of a sudden this year we built a picnic area and we finished that hole 18. We've had the last 6 weekends in a row booked by graduation parties or birthday parties.
Wow.
It's going to be a neat venue for folks in Cleveland County.
It's growing, and that's another thing I was going to ask you. I know where you are now, but I know your mind is always spinning and always churning and always looking for that next opportunity. Where do you see this going in the future from where we are now?
That's a loaded question. Certainly, we see the support, so we're going to grow the clubhouse where it is. We're going to do an expansion on it so that we can host more people and try to get some better, higher quality snacks. I think we'll try to get some cooking going down there. And then, of course, we're going to build a 32 by 48 picnic shelter that people can host parties even in case it comes up a little rainstorm. And maybe future down the road, we're looking to partner with somebody and do something real fun like a brewery or an event venue out in the middle of the woods at the big pond. So there's a 3-acre pond in the middle. You probably remember it. I think you said a disc may have went in there.
Yep.
Yeah. And so it's a gorgeous place. We've got a flat area that that overlooks the pond, and it would just be gorgeous. And so we kind of have that in the back of our minds right now.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
That's awesome. See, I love seeing your head spin. I love seeing the wheels. Because that next LLC is just right around the corner.
That's it. Need you to tell my wife some of that encouragement there. She's like, you've got another crazy idea. And I said, yeah, let's go for it. And she always says okay, though.
That's right, because look, I love your crazy ideas. This is awesome. So this is, you know, you've got all this together, and all this is happening right there in Lattimore. I mean, just how cool is that? That you're actually going to start, if this keeps up, bringing in more people for this that actually live in Lattimore.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a great point. That's actually one of our goals is hopefully this fall to host a 300-person tournament. And so between the 300 people playing and the spectators, it is possible that we double the population of Lattimore for a Saturday.
That's pretty cool. And I actually met a couple uptown Shelby not long back who said they had moved here from the Poconos, moved down from the Poconos, and they were living in Lattimore, and they mentioned the fact that they loved the fact that was one of the best disc golf courses they'd ever seen before.
How
and
about
they lived
that?
right by it. Like, so you've made the people from the Poconos very happy. But that's really awesome. Now, again, just before we get ready to check out, I know that the folks are sitting there thinking, I know they talked about this just a minute ago, but I might have missed it. If they're thinking, hey, I want to schedule a birthday party here, or hey, I have no idea how to play, I want to set up a lesson, I want to join, I want to get a membership, how do I do this? How can I get more information?
Yeah, again, the easiest thing, wolfmanwoods.com. The website has everything you'd want to know about us. The phone is always open. Feel free to call anytime. And, I mean, we want everybody to come play. So, you know, no matter who you are, we want you to come out there and play. So come give it a try.
It's awesome. And it's a beautiful place, and I can attest to that.
Thank
It
you.
sure is. And getting better looking every day. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you for having me.
You're going to have to come back now. You know, you were all worried about this. You did great.
Well, thank you. Still nervous.
Still nervous, but no problem at all. No, we're thankful to have you on our show, and we hope you'll come back and share with us again, especially when things unfold and you get more developments up there.
Exactly. I can't wait to come back and tell you how much we've grown.
All right. It's good to see you. And it's good to have you join us today, too, because I can assure you we don't have a show unless you watch our show. So we're very thankful for those that tune in and watch the show. We're also thankful for your story ideas, because who knew we had a disc golf course in the woods? Who knows these things? You do. You're out in the community and you see the wonderful things that are happening right here in Cleveland County, and you meet the people that are interesting that others should know about. So share those ideas with us. Send those to info@c19.tv. and we'll turn those story ideas that you've got into actual people in these red chairs. But until next time, this is Steve Putnam thanking our guests today and thanking you for watching us and hoping that you'll have a wonderful week. Take care.